All right. So most creator businesses on X are stuck chasing impressions and likes. They don't have an offer, or if they do, it's just a carbon copy of their coaches. And most people are just lowering their prices to become competitive, and which is not sustainable because it's a race to the bottom. So in the creatorpreneur offer, we'll turn likes into cash by understanding what the market wants. We'll create a blue ocean for you so that you don't have to compete. And then we'll make 5-figure deals your standard. So creatorpreneur offer. So everything that you learned about offer should be removed in this, because an offer is not an ebook. It is not the course. It is not the coaching service. It is not anything that you sell. Those are just the products and services that make your offer possible. An offer is a promise of transformation. So that's why, like when you look at Starbucks, it's not that they're selling coffee. The reason why they can charge a premium is because they give you a space to work and to be caffeinated and to have like food and be safe. David Goggins, like the reason why he was popular is not because he had a good book. It's because he had a story in the book that most men, or target market, people who are like fat, became hardest man alive. And then Bumble is like when you're an introvert who don't know how to date, you can just find love through your phone. So what's great about thinking of an offer this way is that you can sell it in multiple ways. So for example, Danko sells a transformation from 9-to-5er to free entrepreneur, and he just sells it through the software, through the book, through the course, the multiple courses into a community. So it's different product, same offer. So is the offer clear for everyone, or do you have any questions?
Yep, all clear.
Cool. So there are 3 aspects of an offer. That's going to be the who, didn't get to slide that, but the who, the what, and the how. So the first one is the who, because again, the market is the most important aspect of an offer. Even if you have like a good offer, even if you have a good product, if no one buys it, then it's not going to be useful. That's why you actually start the other way around. You start with the ideal client first. And I made this 6 major markets because a lot of people on X are confused. Everyone says niche down, niche down, niche down, but no one's telling anyone a niche. So these are the 6 niches that I saw based on experience working with different industries, ghostwriting for people. These are the most profitable, at least on X. So tech and startup. This is a place where you get the richest clients, but also it's really hard to get them because most of these are startups, so they don't have capital. But if you meet someone who kind of is in the middle zone of this, they're actually really profitable. For example, Hype Fury, I think, is profitable, something in that range. If you can look for a client that is in the 6-figure-ish range, that will be very good for you. And then health and fitness, wellness and spirituality, finance, crypto, investing, marketing, sales, and freelance services. So this is where I am at. I'm a ghostwriter, but I'm also doing this a little bit, business and entrepreneurship education, just like this workshop. So you can pick any of these, but we can also create. So once you have that, you can click this and you will go to this research sheet. And this research sheet is important because, as I mentioned, we don't want to create an offer that is just out of the blue, right? We want to create an offer that is validated, that is sure to sell. So I got this idea from Virgil Brewster. So to anyone who doesn't know who Virgil is, he sold 10 million buy courses only, like $150 courses max. And what he does is he sells first, builds second. So before he builds a product, anything, he would see the market and then he would ask people first, will you buy it or not? And if they don't respond, then he won't build the course. So essentially, you want to look for a market first and then build a product. Because if you build a product and then you sell it and you expect that people will come, it doesn't work that way. Or at least it's going to be hard to market because you're basically forcing someone. Right. And it kind of goes back to what's this? $100 million offers. You want to have a starving crowd, right? You want to have a starving crowd where it's easier to sell a hot dog stand or hot dogs with a hot dog stand to people who are starving than to like sell it and force it. Hey, I have a hot dog. Do you want it? Hey, I have a hot dog. It's like it's easier to let them come to you. That's why we have this sheet. So this sheet is the big players. You want to know who the people are in your industry, in your field that are already established because we can learn a lot from them how to model. We also want to know your competition because we want to not so we don't want to compete directly with people. We don't want to do the exact same things that your competitors are doing because if you do that, again, it's going to be a race to the bottom. It's just going to go back to pricing, which we don't want. The way for us to maintain good pricing is to separate ourselves from the competition and to do something completely different. Proven content ideas. So since you're an X, you're making content, you want to know what ideas resonate with your audience, and you also want to know their problems. So this is the problem bank, and then your potential customers is here. So this I already laid it out so that it would be for outreach as well. So you put the name, account, and then what their niche is, your notes of them. And then I always suggest that before you DM people, you comment 5 times so that they're familiar with you when you DM. And then I also like laid it out so you can choose your, oh, view only. Okay. I need to make a copy, but basically you can edit this and it's going to be 1010 and you will see the response rate. You will see the call accept rate. And you want to know that because you want to know how many DMs you can send to close a client, basically. All right. So to go forward, so I've given here some prompts for you to shortcut it. So if you want to get the big players, so for example, I would go to Perplexity. So Perplexity is like, I think it's better for research versus ChatGPT because it actually searched the internet. Can I search for that? For example, my niche. So you can follow along with me if you want. I think I sent you all the what's this? Well, I just sent it in the chat actually. This one. So for high-end client. In the so say let's just say fitness. So I'm gonna write for a fitness. So there, it's gonna show 13 million Instagram, right? Kyla. So what I would do is take one of these. Then I would look at her. Then I would just take note of her. Big players. Hold on. There's a copy. Oh, all right. Need to sign in. Let me just Make a copy of this. Fitness. So location, IG, name, and then I would take the 15.8. Then I would just look at her website. What? Okay. So say like when you do this, you'll get to see their business as well. So, okay, what is she selling? She's selling a sweat plans, and now you know the pricing as well. So you could actually, it's a very good way to see what you could offer while you research these things. And then I cheat. So I would just take this one in here. So I would fill out 10 of these so that I could see the lay of the land. And again, the reason why we want to know that is we get to see what are the tested ideas. We don't want to sell something that is wrong, is not working. So I would, and then for the competition, I would go on X. So I'm using a different account right now. So let's just do it. Okay. So I would go fitness, and then I would look at the people here. So this one is too big. He's 40,000 followers, so I would put him in the big players. Ashley is also 64,000. Tori there, 3,000, only 3,000. So that's who I would put. His name? Tori Hohenberg. Hmm. No, sometimes I just copy this one and then 3692. So I would lay this out as well to again see his website and then look at what he's offering. So actually even doesn't have a website. He just has a newsletter. So that's something that I can already capitalize on, like even talk about like how can you be a fitness guy if you don't have programs, you just have a newsletter, something like that. So next would be proven content ideas. So literally I would just go to like like this woman, I would go to her and I would just watch her content. Not that one. But for example, this one, sweat challenge. So ready sweat challenge. So this one is a proven content idea because it got 1,000 likes, right? And it got like a lot of engagement. So I would know that this works. Get this. And then I would get like, I think it was a promotion, right? A challenge. That's very big right now. Like if you're a fitness guy, or actually not even just a fitness guy, but in social media in general, it's very big. So Kyla, it's nice. And then the challenge. So later we'll be filling this out more. Regarding the problem bank, so we actually have a prompt for that as well. So big players, competitors. So this one is another prompt for you. So normally this should come from your customers, the problems. So whenever you encounter someone in the fitness realm, if you're in the fitness realm, at least for this example, I'm working for a fitness realm, right? I would look even at comments. So sometimes I would look at comments here. And then he's like, what's the difference between PWR? No, not that one. Let's say this one. No, it's just all happy. But in the perplexity, so you could get the prompt here, and then you would just say fitness. And then, for example, my services would be coaching, like fitness coaching. So what this would do is actually say it in the voice of the client. Say like, attracting new clients is one thing, but keeping them, I need to differentiate myself. So those are the things that you will copy and paste in here. So you said perplexity there. So I would copy all of this and paste it here. And this will be, you don't need to put that anymore. Just so perplexity and then copy paste. This will be the basis of first your offer and your future content. So again, the promise of transformation cuts across everything. That's why the offer is the basis of your business, right? You want to know these things, their problems, the things that work for them. So they like challenges. If you're in the fitness route, they like challenges. Okay, so you do challenges, at least your own challenge. Does that make sense? Is anyone, does anyone have questions?
Makes sense.
Cool. So you would do that, and then you would just go here. For potential customers, you could even look at your competitors who are the people who are commenting. I mean, normally these are people who, for your, at least for your prospects, you would have a feel of whether they are able to, like, if they're a good fit. So normally it's from people who comment in your posts. It's really hard. Like, I would suggest to not do outbound like cold, because it's just ineffective. I always suggest that it's whoever engages your post or who's following you, right? Then I would put their name here. I've also put in, so you can go to Facebook as well, to Facebook groups. There's a lot of problems in there. And answer the public, I like this one. So to people who don't know this, so this is from I forgot who the founder is, Neil Patel. So he's an SEO guy. He's a really good SEO guy. So for this, I would go to US United. Oh, where's the US? There you go. And then I would say fitness. And then you would see here, like these things, what fitness component is push-ups. So you see this red dots? These are the most searched. So people search, are fitness trackers worth it, right? Can fitness be a hobby? So these are the things that people search a lot on Google. And this is a great resource, Answer the Public, because it takes into account these things. So these are already problems, right? Can fitness be a hobby? So you just write down the problem bank. So you want to, again, do these things so that you can see what are the problems that people are facing and you can solve it on X. So the problem with a lot of people on X is that they focus on people on X. But you don't like, if you focus on the people on X, you're probably just going to interact with the same people who are also selling your stuff. You want to look at problems outside so that you can attract the right people on X, if that makes sense. So these are some of the resources that you could use and that you could find gaps on. And once you have your market sheet ready to go, once you've seen like your big players, it's time to be specific on who your ICP is. This is an ICP for my ghostwriting. So my ICP is a 25 to 45-year-old man. So I made a probable name, Ben, and then his 25 to 45 years old, who has a creative service-based business that earns 30K per month. He's on X and he wants to get more clients there, lives in a major city, has a busy day, and is attracted to the freedom online business gives. He's very stable. So you want to know this as well so that you could pinpoint, like when you're writing, you want to talk to a specific person. You want to have like a specific person on mind because you don't want to solve everyone's problems. You just want to solve one person's problems. And it would be awesome if that person could be like someone you could know, like really someone that is already in your circle. So now this guy, Ben, I kind of know someone who is like this. And he became my client because I wrote for Ben. Of course, his name is not Ben, but you get the point. So you want to build this ICP. You want to know their demographics, their psychographics, so that you could cater your offer and your content towards him and attract him. So is the sheet clear? Okay. So now that you understand the sheet and you've laid it out, you put in the details of other people, of your big players, you can then have a promised outcome. So that, remember the problems here? All you have to look is the top 3 problems. So let's actually let's focus on this right here. So this is the sheet. So you can access the offer document here. So let's say fitness workshop offer. So you want to, you can choose one problem, one specific problem you can solve. Or what I like to do is like make a phrase. So I would look at the problems: attracting new clients, balancing training sessions. Let's look at the problems really quickly. Keeping up with industry trends, client motivation. So what I can solve here is there, marketing, advertising, and getting more clients. At least for me, that's what I can solve. So that's what my problem is. I help fitness gurus or ahead fitness coaches stand out from the crowd, and close and close C-suite level clients, since that's what they were looking for. They want to help like entrepreneurs here. So this would be my bio already, and that's the problem that you're trying to solve. So their Hell Island is, I'm just going to describe that really quickly. It's going to be um not getting client or never not knowing how to find clients, cannot or cannot does not know what type of content to post. And finally, does not know, haven't. So I'm trying to solve a marketing problem. Don't know how to find clients. They don't know how to attract clients, and they don't are always blending in with the crowd, never standing out. So Heaven Island is what? Heaven Island is the exact opposite of this. Not knowing how to find clients. It have clients knocking on their door, but does not know what type of content to post. So post every post gets ton of engagement and leads, and then always blending in. It's like can stand out. Does not have to deal with the competition because brand is unique. So the Heaven Island and the Hell Island, right? Then once you have that, you want to actually know where they are here as well. So you want to take note of who your client is and what they need, because it's easier to sell a physiological need than a self-actualization need. So let me explain what I mean here. So, for example, it's easier to sell tax savings than to say, I will help you be free, right? It's easier to say, I will increase your revenue than you will become an authority, because authority doesn't make sense, right? Or it's very vague, it's very intangible. Health, body fat percentage, cholesterol, than to say, I will increase your Kai or your wellness. So if you want to sell very intangible things, you have to go into the status of guru status, which is, do you guys know his name? Tony Robbins?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to go into that status of Tony Robbins where he knows your problems. Like if you see how Tony Robbins speaks, he's like, if you have a problem, you go see or you establish a vision, right? Like he doesn't ask for your permission. He just kind of assumes that he knows your problems. And that sounds kind of bad, but if you're selling freedom, you have to show that you're free and that you're not going to ask permission. So this is really what's hard to sell, right? That's why this is like what businessmen, or this is what you usually see. If you can sell this stuff, that means you've achieved guru status. That's why it's important to go to understand where your client is in this thing. Because if they're already rich, that's why it's easier to sell to rich people, because they're just looking for self-esteem and self-actualization. They're not looking anymore for health, employment. Like, they already established that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard to sell, but it's gonna be, so this is hard to sell, easy to fulfill though. This is gonna be easy to sell, hard to fulfill. Okay. So any questions on that?
Nope.
Cool. Everyone following so far? Are you guys like filling this out too?
Not yet, but this
Okay.
is super helpful.
Okay. All right. So for the Q&A, so the province of fulfillment, you can do 3 ways: do for you, do with you, and do it yourself. So do for you is service based. They don't have to do anything. You kind of work for them. Do with you, you give them the resources, but they execute by themselves. Do it yourself is you give them the resources, and they do it on their own. Sorry, do it with you is like you're there guiding them, but you're not doing it for them. So you're doing it with them. And it varies, like do it for you is like more expensive, do with you is less expensive, and do it yourself is just courses, $100 things. So these are the modalities. So for example, book and info products, it's high leverage because you only spend less time, but it could like get results or a high amount of purchases. But the problem is you need to have a big audience, because like imagine selling $14, you'll need 100 people to buy it to earn 1,000, and it's easier to just sell 1,000 service than one book to 1,000 people or 100 people, sorry. So you can also do trainings and memberships. You can do a software and application. There's low ticket. You can create live events. So this is like, for example, this one is a workshop. This is not really a low ticket, it's like a mid-ticket thing. And then there's groups consulting, there's one coaching, and then finally the done for you is the highest ticket. So you can choose a modality regarding this, and you can also look at the pricing below. So I like to split my process into 3. So if you look at the sheet or the doc, there's 3 steps, because people like it better when it's split into 3. Because if it's just 1, they don't see the progress. If it's 2, like it's like a 2-step. It's not that impactful. If it's 3, it becomes solid. If it goes past 3, it might be forgotten. So it's easier to make a 3-step program. And this is a thing I keyed. So you want your process to be new. So why is it different? That's why we created this, because you don't want to be the same as everyone else. You want it to make it easy. So can everyone do this? Can I do this? You want it to be reliable. How do I know this works? Again, that's why we created the market research, because we're using proven content ideas, and we want it to be fast. So we want to do these 4, nerf it up basically. So let's go here. So what I would do, so this is how my thought process is. That's why I put 3 here, is because basically we're going to sell the 3 steps here too, right? So step 1, we help them find more clients. So that's my solution there. It's like help find more clients, then that's market research, right? And then I would break that into 3 steps again, just so that they could see how it's going to go. So know the big players, know the big players, the competitors, and know the prospects, right? And then does not know what content, that's when we'll solve that with um creating content, creating magnetic content. And we do that by um creating a funnel. That's what I'm thinking right now. So creating a funnel, um, establishing a strong lead magnet, and consistently, I would say outreach here. Consistent outreach. And then finally, always blending in with the crowd. So making the brand unique. How do you solve that? I would say, well, we already did the market research, content. How do we make them stand out? Right, expansion. So we go to other platforms. Um, Start posting on other platforms, automating distribution. So either that be hiring and then automating, and then creating a business, automating distribution and hiring people. So that's why I like to make it 3. You can make it as much as you want, but again, it's like I go for 3 because it becomes tangible to the client, or to the prospect. They would see the step by step how it's moving, and they would see that you're actually going somewhere. They would see an ROI basically. And then you just want, so timeline, you just do just copy paste this. So market research, 30 days, or if it's a 90-day, let's say 30-day program. So this would be 10 days, or yeah, 10 days, and then magnetic content. So the bullet is these ones. Let's just copy paste it. Creating funnel. Just say it's a 90-day program. So these things, I would say that's about 60 days, or no, 90 days, 80, 40. And then this one, expansion, 40 days. So it's a 90 days, 90-day program. And now that they see the promise, right? They see the how you show, and this one is the where you actually show them what they will get. So they will get, so for example, they will get a market or market research matrix with full for with all the with all the big player competitors and prospects in your niche. And I like to put like a worth, so maybe that's $100 worth. Um, weekly calls, weekly call, mm, 10 weekly call. Let's say 90 days. So that's it's 4 times 12 weekly calls. So if my weekly call is 200, then that's 2,400, right? Then what are the promises? Creating a funnel. So a funnel, that means there's tweets. So 5, 8 tweets or 2 tweets per day, 2 threads per week. Um, that would be, let's say 80. Uh, let's just say 2,000. And then uh, creating funnel, their lead magnet. So educational email course, this is what I do. 5,000. Consistent outreach. Daily, 50 daily comments plus updated outreach tracker. Mm, say just 2,000. And then platforms. Yeah, that's it. That's it for me. So you can add anything here. Maybe you have a group, like anything you can think of that is connected um, to the journey. Also, what's great here is you can add, like for example, you can already think of objections. What would their objections be? Let's say that their objection would be they don't have an X account. You can just say, like, um, no, that's a bad example. They don't have an email list. You can just say like you'll take care of the ConvertKit plus hard subscription. Like all you can solve their 50 stuff, I think. So when there's an objection that you already know they will pop up, you just put it here so that they can't object anymore. That makes sense. Is that clear? Is this section clear for you? So here's the how. So this is like the step by step, and then this is like the actual deliverables that they will see, right? That they will like get access to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. And then here in the investment, so show the cost, but don't just show like the cost. Show them like uh kind of so like the hidden cost in a way. So for example, I've spent hundreds of thousand, 13,000 on coaches and courses and 1,000 hours to learn all these, jumping from one coach to another to see what works, but you will only need to pay 1,000 per month. And then you could even say like add this all up. So that's 2,400, 2,500, and then 2,500. Okay. My brain's lagging. 2,500, 4,500, 9,500, 11 to 11,700, 11,700, or 11,500, and then so 11,550. So you can say like uh, all of this will normally cost you 1150, but will I charge that? Of course not. You will get all these systems plus my future you're not helping a course though, this is to do for you. So I guess like get all these systems plus my expertise for only So if I was gonna rate this, I would say fair 3,000. No, because I'm gonna make an EEC of $5,000. 5,000. So you can frame it that way. You can frame it this way. You can also frame it in a way that, maybe that in your industry they've done so many, like for example, they do therapy. So you can say you spend thousands and thousands of dollars in therapy, but you're not going anywhere. But with this program, you will achieve this for only this amount. So you want to frame it in a way that this is like not that expensive. All right. So in a nutshell, you can summarize everything here, but you normally I just remove this actually. In terms of the guarantees and promises, you can guarantee and promise things, but at least for me in my experience, high ticket, like high level clients don't really mind that there's no guarantee. Like they're comfortable investing without expectation. And if you do add a guarantee, it kind of looks like you're weak because you're not really sure that your system works. So if you guarantee like I will work for you until this works, it's like, oh, so you're saying that this might not work. You know what I mean? But at least for me, so I like to hop on calls. Um, I only write these things so that I could have it at the back of my head and I know my offer, I know what I'm worth. So it's great because like when you see this and you know what you're worth, you can see that you're not overcharging. You won't feel guilty if you drop the price. And then, so going back, in terms of the guarantees and promises, if I'm in the call and they're doubtful and they want a guarantee, sometimes I will offer a guarantee, but I don't outright say it. So I keep it on my back pocket until it's needed. But if they're not asking for a guarantee, I'm not going to guarantee because again, it just looks, at least for me, it looks weak to guarantee something out of nowhere when your client isn't really looking for a guarantee. If I really want to work with him and he's looking for a guarantee, I will guarantee something, which I know that I will provide, of course. All right, so that's for the risk reversal and for the offer of guarantees. So do you have any questions on the offer sheet?
All clear.
Sorry?
No questions. All clear.
Okay. Wow. We're going fast.
Nathaniel, can you
Yes.
send us this with everything filled out? Because I know we have like the empty one, but it's just
Okay.
you know what I
Right.
mean? Just the sheet.
Right. The one that I filled out already.
Yeah, because it just
Okay.
gives like because you put in some good examples, and
Yeah.
so just to like have an idea. I tried to take some screenshots, but when it's moving, it's like I don't
Oh
have the
yeah, of
same.
course. I'll send this one. I'll send this one.
Yeah,
But do you have any
perfect.
questions, Hillary, regarding I could like answer questions specific to your niche right now if you have.
I'm just so when you're telling them just one random thing, when you're telling them about like ConvertKit and card, like you're saying that you're supplying that to them or you're telling them to sign up for that.
So it depends on how much cost you're willing to take, right? But the only reason why I put it here is so
Uh-huh.
that when they have an objection that you have, like that you already know, you can just
Right.
give it as a bonus. So
Gotcha.
so
Yeah.
does that make sense? You're
Uh-huh.
solving their problem, their objection via a bonus.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So do you still have any questions? Hillary, Killian, Shirley? We're good? Cool. Cool, 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 cool,
Yep.
cool. All right. So, I mean, that's literally it. That's the whole sheet. I'll send you guys this one. Um, but we do have bonuses because now that we have an offer, how do we put the offer out there? So again, the offer So this is going to be your bio already. So you solve a problem, a specific problem, and then that could be your bio. And that comes from your offer, this whole thing. Okay. Now that you have that, the 3 types of content that I like to post. I think you all signed up for the I'm looking at it. Shirley signed up for the X-rated. Hillary signed up, I think. And Killian also signed up to the X-rated. So you probably are familiar with this already. So there are 3 types of content that I like to post. The general audience, which is just like my diary. So for example, I know Shirley likes to run, right? I'll just post something that I'm running or meditation. I know Killian posts about fitness, post about fitness. Hillary, I know that you are a patient advocate. So you can just post about being a patient advocate. So this is just really like to show your personality. And then the next would be a niche audience. So this is where you show expertise on your niche. So for example, for this guy who's a fitness guy, I would just, I would just post about, how to do push-ups or how to do a pull-up. Or if you're a beginner, how do you do your first pull-up? So you're basically establishing expertise in that field. For the ICP is more targeted. So this is a high ticket audience for your ICP. Now this is, you go back to your research sheet, you look for this. Attracting new clients, one thing, but keeping them engaged is a constant struggle. I need to differentiate myself. So I need to differentiate myself. I'm going to post about that. I'm going to post about his problem. I'm going to post about feeling overwhelmed. So I'm going to, it's like really talking to a specific person. And if you look at these posts, this will not be the ones who will get a lot of engagement because you're, again, speaking to a specific person. I'm speaking to Ben, right? And it's only as long as Ben sees it, I'm happy because Ben is the one that's going to give me money. And the likes and impressions are not going to matter to me at this point. But if you look at these things, like the niche and the general, like, look at this, just successful, don't have time. They're busy chasing away. It's like 7,000 impressions. It's nuts. Anyways, so those are the 3 types you want to post. And for the writing frameworks regarding that, so the most basic framework in copywriting is the ERA. So emotion, reason, action. So you want to talk about something that catches their attention via emotion. And then you want to give them reasons why their want is validated, why it's good to want those things, and then you give them an action. So just an example here, want to earn money while you sleep. So I'm targeting emotion here because, like, people want money. And then I give them reason by talking about Russell Brunson making 1 million per month with a computer, the internet, and funnels. And then I give them action. Here are his 3 funnel hacks, which makes them click. And everything, if you look at the post, everything is going to be, what's this? Just click the post. Let's read the post. Everything is going to be action. So see, want people to give you boatloads of money? Don't focus on your offer, focus on your attention. So emotion, reason, your perfect product won't sell if you don't click on them. Reason, the secret, scroll topic headlines that make them want more. So reason, reason, reason. Here's how, action, right? So everything really comes down to emotion, reason, action. Emotion, reason, action. Notice how I got you through the thread? I talked about making money with 0 effort. All coaches and agencies want that. So talking about it made you stop, open the thread, and learn more. So reason again, I use the same magnetic hook to attract leads to my clients. Then we nurture with action. Okay. That's the most fundamental. So if you look at these things, it's just gonna go circle around the ERA. Emotion, reason, action. So attention, interest, desire, action. Attention is emotion. interest is reason, reason, and then action. Let's read this guy. So this is my favorite format when it comes to threads. I like to use this controversial statement, the greatest FBI negotiator, or I don't know, like the greatest digital writer on X, Nathaniel, like something. So controversy, attention, interest, so Chris Voss, and then desire. Oh no, interest is this part, this too. So Chris Voss, his negotiation strategies are used to deal with biggest terrorists, political leaders, and CEOs worldwide. So, oh wow, he's interesting. And then desire, and guess what? They also apply to social media growth. So this one catches their attention. This one shows them, oh, that's something. There's something that is important here, like because he dealt with the biggest terrorists, the political leaders and CEOs, and then you make it relevant to the reader. Guess what? They also apply to social media. Since people here, because this is posted on X, since the people reading this are interested in social media growth, I made it interesting to them, or I made them want it, and so they took action. Is that clear, Ida?
Yeah.
Cool. So Ida, and then pass. So this one I like to use when I know that my client wants something. So for example, Ben, going back to Ben wants a fit body. I would talk about the greatest bodybuilder of all time, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's won Olympia. Here are his ding, like, so this is, I write about his desires, but when he has a problem, when he has something that he's struggling to face, that's when I use the pass, right? So pass is problem, agitation, solution. So no, that's, oh, okay. Let's see. Is this pass? Oh, okay, yeah, this is pass. So I know that you are the niche is a lot, at least here for me, it's a lie. So problem is, this is pure bullshit. So I've called out that there's bullshit. There's a problem. And then I agitate. So this is kind of like reason again, emotion, reason. Sure, you can post whatever you want, but one thing I learned as a beginner with zero writing experience, posting about your interests will not make you money. Yes, I got engagement, fans, and connections, but even though I was sitting at 1,000 followers, my bank account was still at $0. Seeing J.K. Molina's banner just slapped me back to reality, like say cash. At a certain point, you just have to stop trying to win the popularity contest and start using your words to get some moolah. So, solution. You see here, it's just building upon the pain. It's like pure bullshit. You can post whatever you want, and yeah, you're going to like get a lot of followers, right? You're gonna get a lot of followers, but even though you have a lot of followers, you will still get $0. So it's just like problem after problem after problem, and then solution. That's when I give them relief. Copywriting. You see, Danko fanatics talk about how your content should inspire, educate, entertain, but these are just internal feelings that don't make people DM you and ask you for an advice. If you want people to buy your service, you have to make them want it, trust it, and act on it. So that's pass. And the upgraded version of pass is when you have proof. So this is basically pass, problem, promise, proposal, because problem, agitation, solution, and then there's a proof, then action. So let me just pull up this one. So this is an email that I sent before. Oh. Interesting. Let's see. Okay. Interesting. Let's just, how about this one? Okay, this one works. So I got 100 DMs in a day. Remember when I sent you a letter saying, if you need help with your writing, I'd be happy to give advice? Well, this is where the problem occurs. People got the message and my DMs just got flooded. So I apologize if you sent me a message and I wasn't able to respond. It's been difficult dealing with all these messages. So problem. And then I got one maniac texting my number. I don't know how he found it, but man, it was too much agitation. But hey, I still want to get connected to those people I know I can help. I've had a lot of inspiring writers ask me questions. So question. So I'm planning to make a workshop at the start of July, the promise. And I'll teach you how I was able to rack these numbers. So proof. This is when you have, again, this is like the framework if you have proof that you've solved the problem, right? Because these are the problems. Make sense? Cool. So does that sound like something you'd be interested in? If yes, reply to this email. All right. So that's when you solve the problem. You can use this PPP, right? So fundamental era, if you know what they want, what they desire, IDA. If they have a problem you can solve, pass. If you've solved the problem yourself, PPPP. Now, this is when we go to the storytelling. So I like this. So actually, if you notice this one, this is a BAB. If you look at our offer, it's a BAB. It's the before, the Hell Island, and then the Heaven Island after, and then how's the process. So let's look at me in a Starbucks coffee shop, right? So I'm 21. So this is another hook, but the reason why I'm saying I'm 21 is because you're gonna see how I'm young, but I've been through so much. That's why I use I'm 21. But really, I could just have started with this. 30 days ago, so before, I had an 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. job that paid me 400 per month. I sacrificed my sleep to sustain myself and go to university. After, now I'm earning 5 figures and working with CEOs around the world. My life changed when I started X. 7 transformative lessons I learned. Bridge, right? So when you have a story or someone else's story that has made a transformation before, after, and then bridge is the process. That's the exact same thing here. So before Hell Island, bridge, after, what's the Heaven Island? And then bridge. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah,
Almost.
so
Mhm.
as far as like when you're putting out your content, like are you doing it in a methodical way that you are saying, okay, today I'm gonna do a PPP, tomorrow I'm gonna do, tomorrow I'm gonna do the PAS, then I'm
Yeah.
gonna do, so so that's the first question. And then how do you you know are you like constantly thinking of stories and jotting stuff down? That's like what I do now, but
Right.
like is there more like a methodical way to do it? Or
So we can go back to this one. Again, the 3 daily content, right? So I make sure that I always post one ICP. So one of these I'm gonna use, just to make it clear. I'm gonna post one of these frameworks every day. And there's no really system where I decide, oh, today I'm gonna do PASS or today I'm gonna do IDA. It just comes like normally I'm thinking of something already when I sit down. But if I don't, I will go to this. So I will go to the problem bank or solve a problem, or to the proven content ideas. Since I know that they like a sweat challenge, maybe I'll write about the sweat challenge. Or let's get a better example. So for example, I know who's a fitness guru? Dan Go. Let's do Dan Go. So another thing that you could do, so let me teach you like a trick on X so that you don't have to do tweamex. So this is a from, then go, fit founder, and then min underscore faves column. How many likes? 1,000 likes. So you will see all his post that is beyond 1,000 likes. Cool, right? Anyways, okay. 10 things, it went viral. So I know this one works. So people like to know what 10 things I'm doing to 44 to avoid regret. So what I would do here is if people like to know, if they like knowing what the 44 things they need to avoid regret are, then I would write about avoiding regret. Do that, like kind of copy the content, not the content, the idea, but not the same content. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It just
So
kind of gives you like a format of something to work with.
yeah. So really I start with an idea before I choose the framework. So I'm really like, I think first of the idea, what I want to communicate today, and then that's when I come up with a framework. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So really these frameworks are just here so that you could know what format you're gonna create for when you write out your idea. So this is the transformation BAB. And if you have a story, you can use a hook story offer. So this is another way of showing transformation. So your boy was once a office fixer. So I left home back on February 6th. I'm just telling a story here. And then I had $0. I was unemployed. I didn't have a bank account, and I had to go to university the next day. So what did I do? I went to my girlfriend's apartment, knocked on door, and asked, "Can I stay here for a while?" So this is going to be a long story, but just in short, what's going to happen here is the conclusion is my mantra was either I succeed or I die. So the conclusion of this is you should make it happen. Whatever happens, you should make it happen. That was the idea that I was trying to convey. And I just used my story as a way to communicate that. And really the hook in this post is my face. So a hook story offer, the hook is my face, and then you see my story. Because look at this guy, he's like so sorry, he's like it's horrible, looks horrible. So you will feel pity for him and you will just click. So this is when you can use this hook story offer when you can use your story itself as an example to convey the idea that you're trying to make. And then finally, this is just really quickly stop, look, action, purchase. So 5 hours left. The doors to the X-rated workshop will soon close. I'll show you how to. So stop and then look. Action, I'll show you how to DM me for details, and then purchase because I'm gonna send them the DM, the link to payment. So this is just when you're promoting something really quickly. Slap. So that's it. Do you guys have any questions regarding the sheet, regarding this one?
So the last tweet you showed with the picture, that was like a really long form tweet. What makes you decide to do that as opposed to like doing a thread?
This one?
Uh-huh.
Right. So the reason why I didn't do a thread here is because I'm not communicating multiple ideas. I'm just communicating one idea. I use threads when I'm communicating multiple ideas. So for example, this one is my case study. I'm communicating high-level positioning. I'm communicating elite market research. I'm communicating ICP posts. So because there's too many ideas going on, I use a thread.
Yeah.
Right?
Gotcha.
But here, since I'm only communicating, make it happen, like that's really the end point of this all, I use a long form.
Makes sense. Yep.
Do you have any questions, Shirley, Killian? We're good. How about you, Shirley?
No questions on the yeah, no questions so far. I guess more I do have questions on like how to present the offer and when.
Right. So
Uh
how to like when you should send this?
yeah.
Right. So if I'm not mistaken, you ghostwrite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for your ghostwriting, I would highly not recommend to I like to like whenever I pitch someone, even in my coaching, I don't send them offer documents.
Yeah.
I like to hop on calls with them and know their problems because if I can't solve their problems, I do like move them, like I tell them I can't, you know?
Yeah.
So this really, the offer document, the reason why I want to build this is just so that I know what I have to offer. Again, like here, once you lay out these prices, it's like when you tell them I'm worth $5,000, you're not going to be scared because you did lay it out. It's just for your clarity of your head, you know?
Yeah.
But then when you're in the call and they just need, what if they just need this one, right? Then you just offer that one. You don't offer the whole thing. Does that make sense?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. Have any questions, bro?
Nope. That's
Okay.
clear.
All right. So really, this is just for you to have clarity. I really encourage, well, of course you can do the whole, what's this? Offer document thing. I just especially like I think that everyone here is gonna do some form of coaching, so more like high ticket 3,000 to 5,000 deals, or at least that's the likes to workshop. It's like 5 figures. If you're gonna sell something like that, I really encourage to look at the client's problems. Right. One thing I failed to talk about. Let me just get that real quick. Actually, it's here. There. Let me just. Where's that? Value ladder. So this is the offer hack that I was talking about. So for anyone who is interested in doing this type of model, so remember we have these 3 things, right? These 3 steps. Another reason why I like 3 steps is because we can cut it up, right? And because we can cut it up, you can start just selling the market research. So maybe you have a system of market research, you create an ebook or a course, and then sell that so that you will get like, because what's going to happen there is if you sell the lower ticket, so it's going to be the lower one, like this one, a book, 1 to 1,000. It's not going to be a coaching program, but it's like a bait here. This is from what's his name, Russell Brunson. So if they see the market research, they're going to think, okay, what's next, right? If they buy your market research ebook and they think that, oh, this is solid, like, but how am I going to apply it? And then you say, well, I mean, we can create magnetic content for you, right? That's when it's like it steps up until it becomes a coaching program. That's another reason why I like to split it up, because you can sell low ticket and then high ticket it goes up. So you look here, the ladder, it's like bait, and then there's a front end. Bait is a lead magnet, a free thing. So for example, for me, the educational email course is the bait, and then there's a front end product, and then there's the middle, and there's a back end, and there's yeah. For us, of course, there's only 3. So you could do this, and then you could sell them just creating magnetic content, and then the full blown expansion is like your expertise, if that makes sense. Is that clear? Any questions?
Yep. None for now.
Okay. So was everything clear? Because that was the end of the thing. So I'm gonna resend these things to you guys. And I'm also gonna send the recording of this. And yeah. All right. So I guess that's it. Yeah. That's it.
Thanks so
Uh,
much, Nathaniel. It was great. It was really helpful.
awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. So